Hello, everyone. Welcome to another video episode of the Bible to 5 AP Biology. So, in the previous video, we talked about AP Biology. So, what it means to take AP Biology, what are some general coursework involved, and all of the relevant information before taking AP Biology. So, that was a quite brief or quite long synopsis of AP Biology. Today, we're going to look at the exam, the highlight, the AP Bio coursework, the time to show off the knowledge that you've garnered for the entire year of painstaking AP Biology. So let's get into it. Similar to how AP exams are structured, like AP Chem, AP Psychology, AP World History, and on and on and on, AP Biology exam is also divided into multiple choice and free response questions, the MCQs and FRQs. For the MCQ, you are given 60 questions to solve in 90 minutes, including the time for marking in the OMR answer sheets, and it is worth 50% of your score. For the free response questions, the FRQ, you are given 6 big questions, meaning that within one big question, you're going to have 4 to 6 small questions. You have 6 questions to solve within 90 minutes. That includes the time for marking as well. You're given like a FRQ booklet where you can write all your answers. And that is also worth 50% of your score. So in retrospect, both sections are equally important. Yeah, it is equally important to, view it on general terms, but I'm going to explain later. They are equal, but not equal. And you note that in front of the booklet, you'll be provided with select equations and formulas that you'll need. So do not spend your time trying to memorize the equations that your teacher posted on Google Classroom reference sheet. Because for the exam, on the exam day, you will have a equation and formula sheet. It's going to contain all the necessary equations and formulas that you'll need for solving some of the math-related questions. All right. And in terms of scoring, I would like to highlight that the exam itself is not curved, it is scaled. People often confuse the terms scaled and curved. People do think that the SAT is a curved exam. It is not. All of the College Board exams are scaled, meaning that your score that you receive actually does not depend on the performance of other test takers. All right. So that means that when the exam is difficult for the SAT, the test that normally would receive a 1560 wouldn't receive a 1590. That does not happen for any College Board exams. The exam is not curved, it is scaled, meaning that months before the exam, College Board will tell you this is the range of score for 1 to 5, as we can see right here. We see that a certain range of raw score translates into a specific AP score, 1 to 5. And we see that raw score between 92 and 120, 120 being the perfect scoring person, would receive a 5 and goes on the list of 4, 3, and 2. I did not include the list for 1 because I'm assuming that whoever watches this will not receive a 1 for the exam. And what does it mean to have a raw score? Let's get into this. So one MCQ questions, you have 60 total, is worth, each of them is worth a point. So for the MCQ section, if you score perfectly, which never happens, maybe one student per year, I guess, you'll get, for the perfect scoring exam, you'll get 60 points for the MCQ section. If you get 10 wrong, you get 50 points. Quite simple. So here is where things get a little bit complicated for the FRQ. I said that for each big FRQ question, there are small FRQ questions, and there are a total of 36 total small questions within those 6 big questions. and each of them is worth 1.7647 points. To be precise, they actually use this scale, 1.7647. That means that in the end, when you do the calculation, actually a decimal point might, divide between 5 and 4. That's crazy. And you can see that range of 5 is quite high, between 92 to 120. So how you calculate this raw score is that you pretty much multiply the number of questions you got correct for the MCQ by 1. Let's just say I got 55 right. The score would be 55 times 1, which is 55 MCQ points. And for each small FRQ question you got right, you'll be multiplying 1.7647 points. And you'll be adding up the total point you garnered for both sections, and then you'll get a raw score. This means that you do not have to score perfectly in order to get a 5 for the AP Bio exam. The range is quite high and quite lenient. The range actually depends exam by exam, depending on their difficulty. So for, let's say, AP Physics 1, algebra based, because the exam is considered to be quite easy compared to other exams, the range or raw score range of getting a 5 will be low, quite difficult. But however, for exams like AP Chem, AP Bio, having a bad rep to be a terribly difficult exam, the raw score range is quite decent. So I'll say a minimum range or the threshold of getting a 5 is getting 10 wrong for the MCQs and getting 10 wrong for the FRQs. So when you take your exam, you want to make sure that your number of incorrect answers stay within this range in order for you to guarantee a 5, walk into the test center with a confidence that you can get a 5.